Two ETFs walk into the room. One has made investors an average of 15% per year for the last 10 years. The other one, 20% per year. Same decade, same market. That sounds like an easy choice, right? Pick the one with the higher number. Done. But here's what most people don't tell you. That second ETF, the one with 20% returns, also crashed 33% in a single year, while the first one dropped only 18%. So now the question gets harder. Do you want the higher reward and the deeper pain, or the steady, lower stress path that still makes you very wealthy over time? That is exactly what we're going to answer today. VOO versus QQQ. I'm Abu, and by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which one belongs in your portfolio. Let's get into it. If you watched the last video, you already know what VOO is, but let me do a quick recap for anyone who is new here. VOO tracks the S&P 500, the 500 biggest companies in America. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, Google, but also banks, healthcare companies, energy companies, consumer brands. It's the whole American economy in one fund. Broad, balanced, steady. QQQ is different. QQQ tracks something called the NASDAQ 100, which is the top 100 companies listed on the NASDAQ stock exchange. And here's the key thing. Almost all of them are technology companies. We're talking Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Meta, Tesla, Google, Amazon, the biggest tech names in the world, all in one fund. So the difference is simple. VOO is the whole economy. QQQ is a big bet on technology. Now, let's look at what that actually means in numbers. First, VOO. VOO manages $873 billion in assets and holds 518 companies across all sectors. It has an expense ratio of 0.03%, about $3 per year on a $10,000 investment. Over the past 10 years, it has delivered an average annual return of 15.2%. The worst single-year drop was 18% in 2022, and it offers a dividend yield of 1.1%. Now, QQQ. QQQ manages $398 billion in assets and holds 101 companies, mostly in the technology sector. It has an expense ratio of 0.18%, about $18 per year on a $10,000 investment. Over the past 10 years, it has delivered an average annual return of around 20%. The worst single-year drop was 32.6% in 2022, and it offers a dividend yield of about 0.5%. Look at those numbers carefully. QQQ wins on returns. 20% per year average versus 15%. Over 10 years, that gap is enormous. But QQQ also charges 6 times more in fees, pays you less in dividends, and when things go bad, they go much worse with QQQ. In 2022, QQQ investors watched their portfolio drop almost 33%. That means if you had $50,000 in QQQ at the start of that year, by the end, you had roughly $33,500. You lost over $16,000 on paper in 12 months. VOO investors that same year lost 18%. Still painful, but much easier to live through. Let me make this real with actual money. If you had put $10,000 into VOO 10 years ago and never touched it, that investment would be worth roughly $40,000 today. You turned $10,000 into $40,000 with zero effort. If you had put that same $10,000 into QQQ 10 years ago, it would be worth around $62,000 today, over $20,000 more than VOO. $20,000 difference from the same starting amount in the same 10 years. So why doesn't everyone just pick QQQ? Because of what happened in between. In 2022, interest rates went up fast. Tech companies got hit the hardest, and QQQ fell off a cliff. Month after month, down 5%, then another 8%, then another 10%. By the end of the year, QQQ had lost 32.6% of its value. Now, here's the question I want you to answer honestly. Not what you think you would do, what you actually would do. If you opened your investment app in October 2022 and saw that your $50,000 was now worth $33,500, would you stay calm? Would you keep buying? Would you do absolutely nothing? Or would you start to panic? Would you think, maybe this is different this time? Maybe tech is finished. Maybe I should get out before it gets worse. Most people panic. That is not a criticism. That is just human nature. And when you panic and sell at the bottom, you don't just lose on the way down. You miss the entire recovery. And QQQ recovered everything within 2 years. By the end of 2023, it was up 54%. By end of 2024, up another 25%. But if you sold in the crash, you missed all of that. This is exactly why VOO exists, because it gives you a smoother ride. Less extreme highs, less extreme lows, easier to stay in. I want to give you an analogy that I think explains this perfectly. Think of VOO as an SUV. It's reliable. It handles rough roads well. You can drive it every day. You can put your whole family in it. It won't win a race, but it gets you where you need to go, comfortably, year after year. QQQ is a sports car. It is fast. On a smooth road, nothing beats it. The acceleration is unreal. But on a bad road, it feels every single bump. In bad weather, you really feel the risk. And if you crash hard. Both vehicles can get you to your destination. The question is, which ride can you actually handle? Let me be direct with you here, because this is the part that actually matters. QQQ is better for you if you are young, say in your 20s or early 30s. You have 20, 30 years ahead of you. Even if QQQ crashes 33%, you have time to wait for the recovery. You have more time than you have money right now, so take more risk, let time do the work. QQQ is also better for you if you genuinely believe that technology, AI, cloud computing, electric vehicles, software, will keep driving the economy for the next decade, because that is essentially what you are betting on when you buy QQQ. VOO is better for you if you are in your 40s or 50s and retirement is getting closer. You cannot afford to watch half your savings disappear in a bad year and then wait 3 years to recover. You need stability alongside growth. VOO is also better if you are the type of person who checks your portfolio often. If you're going to look at it every week and feel sick when it's down, QQQ will destroy your sleep. VOO is kinder to your mental health. And honestly, if you're not sure which type of person you are yet, start with VOO. Learn how you react when the market has a bad month, then decide if you want more risk. I know you're probably wondering, okay Abu, what do you choose? Here is what a lot of smart investors actually do. They don't pick one or the other, they split. For example, 70% of their money goes into VOO, the stable base, the foundation, and 30% goes into QQQ, the growth engine, the accelerator. That way, when tech is booming, your QQQ portion is flying. When tech is crashing, your VOO portion is holding things together. You get some of the upside of QQQ without betting everything on it. It's not a perfect strategy for everyone, but for a lot of people, it's a very sensible middle ground. Let me bring this together. VOO gives you the whole American economy. 518 companies, all sectors, steady 15% average annual returns, ultra-low fees, and a smoother ride through bad years. QQQ gives you the top 100 tech companies, massive 20% average annual returns over 10 years, but much higher volatility, higher fees, and the very real possibility of losing a third of your money in a bad year. The right answer is not the same for every person. It depends on your age, your timeline, your risk tolerance, and honestly, your personality. But now you have the real numbers, not opinions, numbers, and you can make your own decision from a place of actual knowledge. Next week, I'm covering the ETF that most people have completely ignored, but that has quietly been one of the best performers for dividend investors. It pays you every single quarter, just for holding it, and in some recent years, it has outperformed SCHD, the most talked about dividend ETF on the internet. Subscribe so you don't miss that one. And if this video helped you, drop a comment below. Tell me, are you Team VOO, Team QQQ, or both? I'll reply to as many as I can. Take care of your money. I'll see you in the next one.